Hello good people, how are you doing? Hope you're fine. My name is Defense Cornell and this is a family minute with the Cornell. So today I'm so much excited to again welcome you to my YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed, please remember to subscribe and remember to put a notification bell so that anytime I post a video you'll be notified. So today I'm excited because it's another video, a very interesting one, and I just want to introduce someone who is so special to me, and I want her to tell us her story, which will encourage you. I'm so sure it will inspire someone, and definitely your life is not going to be the same again. So welcome guys, and let's talk to Roslyn.
Hey, what's up, good people? It's a pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Roslyn.
So guys, Roslyn here, she is a different able lady. So I just want her to tell us what happened, her story. You will know every detail you want to know.
So, hi everyone. As your host introduced me, my name is Roslyn Butt. I am old enough, and I am, what do you say? I love so many things about life. Before I tell you what exactly happened that I ended up being a wheelchair user, I love life. I love colors. I love art. I love music. I love good things. I love good food. Yeah. Yes. And I have been using a wheelchair for almost all my life, let's say that. Because I am a cancer survivor.
Wait, I didn't know that first. I didn't know, honestly. I didn't know that you are a cancer survivor. So guys, let's pause there. So Rose was my classmate back in college, and we have been friends for quite a long time now, and I'm just getting to know just right now that she's a cancer survivor. I've never asked her what happened, but then I've never asked you what happened. I mean, what happened until you find yourself, or rather you are using a wheelchair?
Okay, so let's go back.
So before we go back, I want you to tell us that you want to tell us where you have come from, generally your background.
Okay.
Yes.
My background. So that's the reason why I'm trying to go back so that I can give you a transition of what transpired. Okay.
Yes.
I have very, very little or vivid memories about my family because there was a disconnect at some point in life. All I remember is that I remember my father, I remember my mother, and I remember having siblings. Okay. But then not so much, because I guess as a child, let's see, or as a human being, you always choose what to keep in your memories and what not to keep, depending on how this situation happened or what transpired. So all I can remember is that I am from a family of 4 kids, being the last born. That's all I remember. I remember my mother passed away, and I remember seeing my father bring another woman in the house, and I remember us going through a Cinderella kind of story, stepmothers and stuff. So I have memories of that, and which were not good. And I remember at some point my father taking me to my maternal grandmother's home. And that is where the first disconnect happened with the family. Because after I left for my grandmother's place, I never saw my siblings again, my sisters or brothers again. So at my grandmother's place, helping her around, one day I felt some pain, like a very sharp pain on my back, and I didn't know what it was. So telling my grandmother how I felt, she opted, grandmothers and traditional medicines and stuff.
Yeah.
She's tried all that, but then it didn't help. Yeah. So after some time, she had to seek help, like medical professions, and with that they advised her that I should be brought to Nairobi so that I can see like a real profession, because they didn't really know what it was. I was in so much pain and I could not describe how it is. Yeah. And so my grandmother reached out to my father, who came and took me with him and brought me to Nairobi. So that is the second disconnect, because that was the last time I actually saw my grandmother up to date. Yes. And so being brought to Nairobi, I was taken to Kenyatta Hospital, and at Kenyatta Hospital is when I learned, or I was diagnosed with cancer. It's a Burkitt's lymphoma type of cancer. I don't know how to explain it.
How old were you by then?
I was, let's say, 5-6 years old. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So after being diagnosed, I was admitted. And my father came to visit me like 3 times. And then since then he disappeared. So that was the last disconnect from my family. So since then, since I was 5-6 years old, up to date, I've never seen the guy, the old man.
Wait. Are you serious?
Yes.
6 years?
Yes.
That's the last time you saw your dad?
Yes.
So you don't even know if your dad is still alive?
I have no idea.
Or
I have no idea.
your siblings as well? Even the grandmother, you don't know anything about her?
No. And so at Kenyatta I stayed for almost 3.5 years.
No.
Yeah. And then because I was already cured from the cancer was gone. The chemotherapy and the radiotherapy and all that helped. So the cancer was gone. But one morning, let me tell you that during that time when I was admitted, I was still walking. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, you're still walking?
Yes.
Yes.
And one morning, during one of the sessions of the chemotherapy, I could not feel my legs.
Oh.
Yeah, I could not feel my legs. Something had just changed. And I just remember telling the nurse, because I was really scared. And she just brought a wheelchair to me and told me that this is what you're going to be using now.
Just like that? She just said, you're going to use this?
Yes. And that is how my life changed. That is when I started using the wheelchair up to date.
So, you are in the hospital. Now, who took care of you? Because you know that when you're in the hospital, there's someone who will be there for you, someone probably to visit you and to help you out with some stuff. But now, who was there for you? All that 3 years in Kenyatta Hospital, who was there for you?
Well, I met amazing people. The nurses were there for me, and I made friends, and their families always came through. And then there was this particular lady, an Indian lady. She like made it a habit of her going to visit the kids there. So we always looked forward to seeing her.
Yeah.
So with that, she kind of took a special interest in me, and she was there.
Yes.
She was there for me. Yeah.
So she became like a
yeah,
guardian.
she became like a guardian.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And she always provided for what I needed
Yeah.
when I was at the hospital.
Yes.
Yes. And then when I was declared cancer free, I didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my father has disappeared and no
Yes.
one is coming to check up on me. So they opted to give me in adoption to a children's home.
So you end up living in
Yes, a children's home.
children's home.
Yes. It's called the Missionaries of Charity, Mother Teresa's Home. I know many people have heard of Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was adopted in one of the homes.
So all that time, I mean, from 6 years till when you used to come to college, you used to come from
From the orphanage.
from the orphanage.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at her face.
I am trying to digest this because you know it's not easy. It's not easy because there is this, you know, boarding a matatu, and then from where is it located, by the way?
In Langata.
In Langata, Langata to town.
Oh, yeah. But then you know the good thing about is that they put me in a hostel.
Yes.
And you remember in college there was a school bus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that is how I used to do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I was in a hostel.
You're in a hostel.
Yes.
But still, they used to take care of you. Okay. Wow. So 3 years in the hospital. What happened between when you are in school and the 3 years in hospital?
Well, at the hospital we used to get this teacher who used
Okay.
to come and give us lessons, like kidogo kidogo, because you know in the hospital there are days where you're feeling okay and there are days where you're not feeling
You're not
okay.
yourself.
Yes, yes. So he used to come through and train us pole pole with simple subjects like mathematics, English,
yeah.
you know, those ones that are really important. Let me use that word. Yeah, and then now from Kenyatta, when I went to the orphanage, at least I had some knowledge about what schools entails, and you know, like the lower primary schools, so that so I didn't really have to go through all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was taken to class 1 immediately, and it was easy because I was able to catch up very fast thanks to that teacher who used to come to help.
Yes.
Yes.
So it wasn't hard for you to adapt. No. Wow. Wow. So you went to Langata, joined school, then you finished now, and you started college.
Yes. And let me just say that school life was really difficult for me because of having to train myself how to integrate with people. Yes. I am using a wheelchair. Yeah. And everyone else can run around. Most of the time I used to be left.
So let's go back when you were in the hospital and you felt, you know, you can't move. What was your first reaction?
How would you react? It's very confusing. You don't know what is happening. Yeah? I didn't know how to react. I was just crying because I didn't know what was happening. I was walking yesterday and today I can't feel my legs. I can't stand. I'm trying to stand and I'm falling down, you know. It was not really good. I was really scared. Yeah. And now, like, a few months later, it dawned on me that I will never walk again.
They just broke a news, you'll never walk again.
Not really breaking the news, but you know, it dawned on me because they started giving me physiotherapy, but nothing was changing. Nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it dawned on me that maybe this would be my forever, you know? And yeah, it was really hard. But I don't even know how I got through it, you know?
Yeah.
That I am okay with it now. It's crazy.
It is. It is.
Yeah. But now let me say I'm okay because having gone through school, I just had to like teach myself to be okay with it. You know? You cannot walk, so what are we going to do about it? You know, it's not like you're going to sit there and cry forever.
Forever, sure.
Yeah. You have to do something, you have to move on. You know?
Life must.
Yes,
go.
and you have a wheelchair, it's not like you have been confined in
sure.
one place.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to find a way to tell myself that it's going to be okay all the time. Yes.
And did they say, the doctors now, the reason of, you know, numbness?
I was just given or told that it's because of the chemo that was intense. The chemotherapy that I was going through was intense.
Okay.
But then later on in life, I went and tried to find out if anything can happen. Let me just say that maybe it's because I have never found the right doctors or the right feedback on what might happen.
Yes.
Yeah, but I have not yet lost hope about it. Maybe something will happen eventually.
Yes.
Yes, so until then, we have to live with what we have right now. Yes.
Sure. And you're very strong. You know, how do you manage to do everything on your own?
It's called survival for the fittest.
Because,
let me say,
because
you don't want to be, let me use in quotes, you don't want to be a burden to anyone. So you have to unlearn some things and learn some things. Yeah, because even for your own peace of mind, there's no beauty as a beauty of being able to do stuff for yourself without having anyone invading in your privacy. You know, like being able to dress yourself, it feels like such an honor. Unlike when someone is coming to help you dress, you know, at the back of your mind you'll be always like, oh my god, I wish I could do this on my own, you know? And that's the beauty. So I had to unlearn some things and learn some things. And unlearning is that I had to unlearn that maybe the feeling of me being useless, and learning that even though I can't walk, I have my hands, which are still functioning. I can still talk, I can still think and make my own decisions. So that is what came in handy. Yeah, I had to make a decision that I have to do this on my own. Yeah, because I want to be free. I want to have that freedom, and it feels so good to be able to do stuff on your own. Sure. Yes. So I had to learn how to do everything: wash clothes, dress myself. Yeah. Yes.
Do you sometimes feel like I wish I could walk, I could do some stuff that other people are doing?
Yes, it happens. Situations bring out these feelings when you want to have or you want to access something and you cannot be able to do that. Yeah, you just find yourself saying, right now, if I had legs, I would have just run to that place. But then you're confined. You have to use an Uber, for example, or you need someone, you know? Yeah, so those are the moments that that maybe makes me feel down when I can't have an access to something or have an access to a building. Those are the moments.
Yeah, and you know, like when you are like for here, you cannot go beyond. You know,
Yes.
you have to live.
Yes, yeah, that's a good example. That I'm living on the ground floor
Yeah.
and I have a friend on the third floor.
Yes.
See, it sucks for them to be the one who are always coming to my
Yeah.
place and I can't go to their place.
Yes.
Yes, so those are the moments.
How is your circle of friends?
How is my circle of friends? Interesting. It will really sound weird that you think I'm an extrovert, but I'm not really an extrovert.
Yeah.
I really like keeping to myself because I always have this mentality that if I start talking, for example, you wouldn't understand, and for you it will be like you have so many questions that might be irrelevant to what I am feeling, you know? Yeah, so my circle of friends is very, 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 very small because I only identify with people who are okay with my condition. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to have a friend, for example, who sees me and they're like, oh yeah, you know, it's not a good feeling at all.
Not.
Yeah, but if you're around me and you are okay
Yes.
with the fact that it's just a wheelchair, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling, which is very limited
Yes.
because people are curious, people have questions, and people, I don't know what happens that when you see someone on the wheelchair, automatically, you know, like you just see problems,
A burden, kind
a
of.
burden, or huyu hata nikikuwa rafiki yake will be like, I have to do extra or go an extra mile. Yes, so that is the reason why I have a very small circle of friends.
Yes.
Yeah, people who I can really relate with and who are okay with how I am.
Sure. Wow. Wow. We came here and we found food already cooked. Tell us about that. How can you, I mean,
Yes, I can cook, I can clean, I can wash clothes, I can run errands, and I can do all that. It's something that you just learn. You have to do it. Because, for example, okay, I'm on a wheelchair. Many people think that I should have a house girl, for example. But why should I have a house girl? You know? If my hands are okay, yeah?
you do
Some
stuff
things,
on your own.
some things I really had to learn, and it took me, like, I had to give it my all to learn them, to learn how to do them. Yeah, because as I told you, I really wanted to be someone who is free.
Yes.
Someone who doesn't need someone to be there for them all the time.
Yeah.
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 And it's beautiful.
It is.
Yes.
Wow.
To be able to depend on myself.
Sure.
Yes. And unless it's really necessary. Like I have placed everything on a level of how I can reach them. Like even the hanging lines outside, you've seen them. They're just on my level. I can just stretch my hands like this and
Okay.
and hang them.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
So apart from you know the fact that you cannot talk, you can do everything, like everything anybody can do.
Even climbing a tree. No, I'm kidding.
There's a time probably you were looking for a job, and did you by any chance maybe thought, how will people view me, or rather how will they even give me the job if
Yes, it's a nightmare for most of us who are not abled, like completely, who are differently abled. Yeah, it's a fear that we have. Yeah, because most of the time as I said, if you encounter someone for the first time, people tend to not see beyond the person who is sitting on the wheelchair. They see the wheelchair and their mind gets stuck on that, or they see that you don't have one arm and their mind gets stuck on that, and they tend to forget that, yeah, they might not have that one arm, but you know, they've come all this way, meaning that, you know, they can do so many things. So people tend to forget that, and that is what brings about a fear. Yeah, of course, I was really scared, especially when I finished school. I was really scared of how my life is going to be, of what would happen to me. As you know, Africa as a continent have a very different perception of people who have disabilities. Yeah. And it is not something that has been embraced fully because of the myths and misconceptions that we have, our cultural belief, our traditional beliefs, you know. Or people tend to overlook science, if I may say that, or people tend to overlook creation, or yeah, so something just happens. And if I go to look for a job, I'm afraid that that is the first thing that people will see, my wheelchair. Yeah. And they may be skeptical and think that, if we give her a job, how will she be managing to come to work, or how will she move around in the office? And until you give someone that chance, you know, you will never be able to find out. You will tell them no, and they will leave the office, having killed something in them without knowing, because you have reminded them that, oh, you have a disability. Yeah. Which is a very wrong mentality, you know. And rather than, if you would have given them a chance, you would have seen so much. You know of so many famous people who have disabilities and are doing so well. Exactly. And that is because someone gave them a chance. You know, which is something that we have to change in Africa as a continent. Yeah, I was really scared, but let's say that my life, because I'm a believer, my life is just a miracle. Everything happens because of a force or a power that I have no knowledge about, or maybe I do, or someone is really, or God is really taking care of me and taking care of everything. Yeah. So my life has been a miracle. From surviving cancer, imagine, it's a miracle. It is on its own. Yeah, being abandoned and finding a family or finding people to take care of me was a miracle for me. Being able to go through school, even despite the challenges and making it, is a miracle to me. Even the job that I have right now is a miracle. It is, especially after telling us the story about how you call the job. Yes, it is a miracle. It is a miracle. Do you sometimes feel like you're not in the right place when you are at your workplace? Do you sometimes feel like discriminated, or what do you call it? Isolated? Let's just say, and it's something that I will talk to my fellow people who are able differently. If you get an opportunity, maybe to get a job somewhere, show them that you can do it, and show them that they don't really have to be standing by your side all the time. And that is, if you do that, it gives them, you know, that perception, you know, she can do it. So you won't feel like you're discriminated, because you've shown them that, you know, you're equal to them. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And so there is no discrimination for me at all, because it feels like sometimes they even forget I'm on a wheelchair.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're like, Peleka, take these papers to that office
Yes.
and do this and
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
And it's a good feeling. And that is how I view the world. The world gives you back what you give it to them, to the world, I mean. For example, if you're a person who is always like, oh, I feel sorry for myself, you know, why can't you people see that I have a disability? It's hard for me to push myself to go and that is how the world will look at you. She's someone who needs someone all the time, you know. So opportunities will be very limited, because they'll be like, she has self-pity, so they'll also start pitying you, and they will not see beyond the person that you want them to see, you know. So if you're a person, even for a normal person, I mean, if a person who sends themselves to do stuff, you know, going out of your way, you know, people see that, and they'll be like, Defense is someone who goes out of her way to help people, for example, or to come through, or to do A, B, and C. And so when opportunity comes, maybe you're in a catering industry.
Yeah.
People will always think of, let's call Defense.
Yes.
That is how life is.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. That's nice. I want to ask you something so personal, to know about your love life.
My love life. She wants to know.
I'm so curious to know.
Here's the answer. I am single, not dating. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. I'm just living every day until, you know, the big guy decides otherwise. But it's not something that I'm curious about. I'm not curious about marriage or dating or...
I mean, you've never thought about that?
It's not that I've not thought about. I've dated, yes, but it's not something that it's like on my number one priority list. I still have much to do. That is what I feel.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm old enough. But I still feel like I have so much that I want to accomplish. I want to go for skydiving, scuba diving. You know, I want to, go around the world if I ever get the opportunity to travel all over and do so many things. And
so,
but maybe someday I'll think of settling down.
So
but
it's your decision. I mean, it's not because of anything.
There's a big part of it, For someone, okay, let me speak for myself. For me, as a person who is living with disability, I tend to overthink a lot about everything, and I create all sorts of scenarios in my head. So if a guy, for example, approaches me, before they can even speak, I've already created so many scenarios in my head. Because I don't want them to treat me differently. I don't want them to... Let's say that from whatever I've experienced, most of the time it's because people are kind of curious. How would it be like to date someone who has disability, which is not good.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, but not saying that there are bad guys out there. There are good people who will be comfortable, because I've seen so many stories and documentaries about people who have disability and they've gotten married. Yeah, but let's just say for me, it's not like my number one priority. It's some, let's say that if it doesn't happen, I would be okay with it.
You know, I just want, I just want you to let them know that it's not all about who I am. si eti mtu hawezi ni date because of this.
It's not about that. It's not about the wheelchair at all. It's far from it.
So ni
Because at
decision
the end
yako
of the
umemake.
day, yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm a woman, yeah?
Of course.
And just like everyone else, someone needs to be loved, someone needs to be gifted, someone needs a companion, yeah? But it's just my decision.
So I just want you to tell people, those who are going, you know, they're having the same challenge, just speak to them.
Okay, so I live a very simple life with a very simple mentality, and the mentality is this: what you cannot control is not your fault. Yeah? Don't let your condition define the person that you want to be. Yeah? It's just a condition. It's not a big deal. You're just using a wheelchair, or you're just using a crutches, or you're just where you are. Yeah? Don't let it be an excuse. You should never have excuses about life. As long as God has given you the life, as long as you wake up in the morning and you can breathe, it means that you still have a purpose. Don't let where you come from, the people that raised you, your family, your surrounding, be an excuse for you not being whatever or who you want to be. They are all excuses, and everyone has disability, because at the end of the day, mine might be physical because you can see me, I'm on a wheelchair, but yours might be different because no one can see it. Yeah, so it shouldn't be an excuse. We have psychological disabilities. How many of us are suffering from depression, anxiety, loneliness? Yeah, all these are disabilities, but what do you do with it? Do you let your loneliness make you not go out there and find someone that you want to be with? No, that would be an excuse. Do not have excuses.
Wow.
That is how I live my life.
Wow.
Yeah, and God takes care of everything, or whatever the deity you believe in, whatever God you believe in that supreme being that you believe in, that He takes care of everything. Yes.
Wow.
And you're gonna be okay. I have battled anxiety, depression, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and I feel like, no, I do not want to do it. Yeah, this is not the life I wanted, and I did not choose to be this way. And I feel like, no, I don't want to. God, I want it all to end today. But then it takes me back. The fact that I have woken up, it's something that should trigger your mind and let you know that there is a reason, there is a purpose. Maybe you haven't found it yet, and it's not something that will just come today or tomorrow or in the next few months, but you will find it eventually. So live with what you have at the moment. You might not have the riches or the amount of money that you want to have, but you have something. Use what you have.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. You have something to tell us?
God bless you all. And I love you. Be kind to yourself. It's the most important thing.
Nice.
Be kind to yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. So until the next time and until the next video, God bless you.